You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Today on our Motivation and Mindset Monday, I'm looking forward to bringing you the 3 ways to make a breakthrough in life. And honestly, by the end of this show, you're going to see how that you can apply this same strategy, the same philosophy to absolutely any goal you have in life. So what I like to do right now is I like to give you the brick wall analogy. So we've often heard about the brick wall and basically how do you get through it? How do you get to the other side? Because on the other side of that brick wall is your goal. And again, you think about the goal that you want to achieve right now. Is it career-based? Is it relationship-based? Is it health-based? Is it body transformation-based? What is it? But on the other side of that wall is your goal. I want you to keep that in mind for today's show. So think about it. You're here. You're standing and looking at a brick wall. On the other side is your goal. How do you get to that goal? We're going to talk about 3 ways to do that right now. So basically, there are 3 ways. Now, there are a lot of people using this method, which I used for many years myself, unfortunately, because I didn't learn the other 2. But the first option is this. You can literally try to run through that brick wall. So you can try to push it over, you can try to run through it, and you're doing this typically means you're doing it by force, and you're doing it by sheer willpower. Okay, so think of it this way. If a diet plan isn't working for you, let's just say you've dropped your carbs down to 75 per day. And you'll go, okay, well, now I'm going to drop them to 50. Now I'm going to drop them to 25. Now I'm just going to eat 0 carbohydrates. If that is not working for you and keep trying to go lower, 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 and lower, well, doing more of that is basically trying to run through the brick wall. And if you're also, let's just say you're on a career path and you're working more hours per day and more hours per day, you're staying later, you're waking up earlier, that again would be using sheer willpower. The problem with that, and this is what I found myself, is that it eventually runs out. You just can't keep up. One is you get overwhelmed. The second is you start to become anxious. And the last part is you just start to then get demotivated. And you no longer want to achieve whatever that goal is because it becomes a struggle. And so once you get to that point, you get fed up. You typically slide back the other way. If you've been on a diet, you just go back to eating however you were, usually with a lot more, food involved, and you gain all the weight back. Or the same thing is you just kind of slide back into your smaller self. We don't want either one of those. But that is one strategy, and it can work. You can keep pushing harder at what you're doing right now. It's just not my favorite way, but it is one way to make a breakthrough because eventually, with enough force, you can break through, but it's exhausting. So what's option number 2? What's the second way to make a breakthrough? Well, this would be going over the wall. Now, the wall, let's say it's a 12-foot wall. It's pretty hard to do. You can't do that on your own. So in order to get over the wall, you need to get a boost. You need to get a helping hand from a friend, from a partner, from some type of like support group that you might be a part of, or maybe it's a coach. And you're doing that because you need someone to literally lift you up. You need someone to give you a boost. So I like this plan without a doubt. A personal trainer can help you with this, a health coach, a workout partner that you just go to the gym with. Maybe it's a very supportive spouse. That will absolutely work. Or maybe you get a bunch of people together, coworkers, and you say, okay, for the next 12 weeks, we're going to do this, this, and this. But that's what I'm talking about right there. It's a finite period of time. So if you need a small boost, like there's a lot of people who will get you there. Now that's very, very helpful, and I'll tell you why. They're going to support you in a way to keep you accountable, and they're going to give you that boost when you need it. But what I found is that support doesn't last forever, right? It's like everyone has so much going on in their own life that unless you're actually paying a personal trainer or paying a health coach or doctor, whoever it might be, that they just can't keep up with your individual demands. And so it's an interesting way to look at it. I've used this before in my past, and I use it still to this day, because hiring a mentor or coach or whatever to give you that extra boost, to give you that support, to kind of maybe tweak your plan a little bit, adjust adjust your current plan. And again, a good personal trainer, nutritionist, coach can do that for you. Very, very helpful, but not a long-term strategy. But again, if all you need is a short-term one to get you over that hump, like how do I lose 10 pounds the next month? Well, you could absolutely get that boost from a book, a coach, a partner, whatever it might be. And the third way, the one that I like the most is this. The reason you're standing in front of that brick wall and the reason that you have not achieved your goal and you're not on the other side yet is that if you knew how to get there, you would already be there, right? Because you want the goal, you feel you deserve it, and it's what you've been looking forward to. So why don't you have it? Well, again, you could use more force of what you're doing now. You could tweak the plan of what you're doing now a little bit. You get a little bit of support from others. But what you probably need is that you've reached a new level in your life. And whenever you reach a new level in your life, the old ways of doing things most likely aren't going to get you to what that next level has waiting for you. So what you need is a new way of doing things. This is why when I talk to so many health coaches, practitioners, even people who have gone from their 20s to their 30s to their 40s to their 50s, the way of they were eating before or practicing before, whatever it might be, that was great. It was, and it got them to whatever their level they're at right now, but they're no longer satisfied with their current level. And so that wall is now standing in front of them. What they need now is a new strategy. They need to think differently. They need a new program. They need to somehow open up their mind. Because remember, when you can open up your mind, you leave yourself open to possibility. It's like I talked about yesterday on the house call. I let people know that really, and I've talked about this last Monday as well, episode 423. And that was, it was going to be called, I'm going to rename it. It's called Dogmas Are Dangerous. Whatever you're doing right now, again, it could be great. It could be fantastic, but it's not serving you any longer. And at that point, it's time to move on to a new plan, a new program, to open yourself up to new possibilities. I find that the way to open your mind is to get out of your current environment. Sometimes it's as easy as taking a trip. Sometimes it is hiring a mentor who's just going to really open up and expand your mind to just possibilities you never even knew existed. Going to a conference, doing a certification. Journaling is a big one. I think journaling is fantastic, except when people edit. Never edit while you're journaling. Keep yourself open to all possibilities. Remember, what you think is a stretch is like not even conceivable or realistic for you. Someone else is living that life right now. Woman else is enjoying that. You can too. You just haven't figured out what they've figured out right yet. And so again, you can have those things. One of the best things, the easiest things would be like, hey, can I learn from you? You have what I want. Can you teach me how to get that? Now, they will teach you. You might not be willing to do the work, but that's a different story, right? Or you might be willing to do the work. It just depends. Like a lot of times it's okay to say, oh, that's what it takes to achieve that. Well, no, I don't really want to do that much. And that's okay as well. But now you know, and now you get to make the choice for yourself. One more great thing, again, I don't know if I just mentioned this, but traveling, just like taking a trip outside of your city, even if it's like within your same state, and just like staying at an Airbnb or a hotel or a retreat or a friend's house, whatever it might be, just to break up the monotony, to allow your head to just have some clear space, to like decrease that bandwidth, as I like to say. Just get off your phone for a little while. That is the way you're going to figure out, that's how I get around the wall. I don't need to try to run through it. I don't need to try to use force. I don't need someone to boost me up over the wall, give me that push, especially for that finite period of time, not doing it necessarily all on your own. Or this third way, which is what I recommend. You are doing it on your own, but what you're learning though is almost like a secret. It's a secret to you because you don't know it yet. It's a new strategy. It's a way of saying, oh, I didn't know this door existed, or I didn't know this path existed to get around this obstacle in front of me. Because when you find that out, everything becomes so much easier. When people come to me and they've seen 12 different specialists and they've tried all the most crazy things, and I say, okay, well, I want you to do this, this, and this, and I want you to follow this nutrition plan and this. And then they start getting results within 21 to 28 days. They didn't think that could be possible because they thought they tried everything else. Well, and they were struggling for years. So that the issue wasn't that they weren't trying, that they weren't already putting in the work. What they were missing was the plan. And again, we're not always talking just about health. What about career? If you want to get to a new level in your career or you want to switch jobs, well, test that out. Speak with someone in that other field. If you want to learn what that other job might be like or whatever, see if you can do a shadowing day. See if you can do a certification. See if you can start to just do more of whatever that thing is. So essentially what I'm trying to say is this. is that in order to achieve something that you've never achieved before, you need to do something that you've never done before. And that's not going to be readily apparent. It's just not. If it was, again, you would have already achieved that goal. So right now, assess where you're at in life. Are you trying to run through the wall through sheer willpower and working longer and harder? Or number two, are you trying to enlist the help of others to give you a boost in terms of just support and motivation and tweaking that plan? Or number three, are you enlisting the help of others, books, certifications, mentoring, just reading articles online, whatever it might be, to find out how you can create a new strategy, a new possibility, a new way that instead of literally trying to go through the wall or jumping over the wall, that you can simply just walk around it. Those three strategies are the way that you're going to make a breakthrough. Sometimes, and I'll be honest, using all three works phenomenally well. But I'll tell you, if you're missing number three, if you're not truly going after number three, of trying to go around the wall, you'll always be struggling. You really will. You'll always be making things harder for yourself. So hopefully today's show helped. Hopefully it started to open up the mind, open up the possibilities. And as always, if this show can help anyone else, please do feel free to forward it to them. Take care. Ever wonder what the best sauna, blue blockers, sleep trackers, wake lights, salt lamps, or other health gadgets are? Or what about the top non-toxic mattresses, sheets, soaps, bath products, toothpaste, and cookware? Or would you like to know the cleanest choices for hemp parts, meal delivery services, supplements, and much more? I personally curated, researched, and now created a resource page of all of my top picks that continues to grow each week. These are the exact products I use in my own life, with my family, in my private practice, and they're the ones I trust. To find out all of my up-to-date recommendations and all the details, simply head on over to stephencabral.com/resources.